In some overnight news to tell you about, two families are without a place to stay this morning after a fire breaks out at a northeast Albuquerque apartment. Fire crews on the scene tell us the fire started in an upstairs unit at about 2:30 this morning at a complex near Wyoming in Spain. Smoke and flames were coming from the apartment when crews arrived. The unit was vacant and the fire did spread to the apartment next door. Crews were, however, able to get the fire under control quickly, and there was some smoke and fire damage to some of the apartments. Fire crews did run into a little snag, though, while on the scene.
We did have two bad hydrants initially. We were able to obtain a water supply and luckily able to extinguish the fire before it spread and caught more. There are a lot of apartments in this complex, and we were lucky to confine it like we did.
The good thing here, no injuries were reported, and the Red Cross was called to help out some of the families who were displaced. The cause of the fire, by the way, still under investigation. Drivers speak out about the widening project that is underway on I-25, and now the state is taking action. The northbound lanes on one stretch of the freeway are now being expanded a little bit more just for you. News 13's David Romero is live in the Newsplex with details. Good morning, David.
Good morning, Elizabeth. The first fix alleviated the daily backup near Comanche, but with squeezing down to 3 lanes and shoulder issues, engineers found a way to go a little bit further. Make that about 180 to 200 feet further from where the new expansion ended south of the Jefferson Bridge. DOT officials say this latest work will also widen the paved shoulder to about 22 feet in some spots. Now, the original $2 million project wrapped up at the end of last month, but within the last week, the orange barrel started popping up again. Complaints from drivers and re-examining where more room could be added is expected to help commuters make their way north.
It's a combination of both. When we looked at this, you know, and the geometric design looked like it should have functioned exactly as we designed it. Upon looking at field conditions, we decided to add additional pavement out there to accommodate traffic as it truly is.
Gallegos also says that part of the new work will include putting up more signs to warn drivers where the expanded lane will end. Elizabeth, back to you.
All right, really good to know, David. Thank you. The DOT says it should wrap up construction by the end of the week. The Village Council in Corrales is expected to vote today on a measure that would put more restrictions on carrying guns. The resolution would prohibit carrying any gun out in the open on city property. That means if you conceal your gun, it's still okay as long as you have a valid license. The meeting is scheduled for tonight at 6:30 at the Corrales Village Council chambers. And here in Albuquerque, a local group called Olay gathered 24,000 signatures to put a minimum wage hike on the ballot come November. They want the minimum wage to be raised $1, going from $7.50 to $8.50. It would also increase with the cost of living every year. The city clerk still has to certify the petition and make sure it includes more than 12,000 registered voters to make it valid. An Albuquerque teenage driver could face a judge today after police say a passenger in the vehicle he was driving was killed. It happened Saturday night near the intersection of Isleta and Remick in the South Valley. Deputies say the 17-year-old driver was drinking and speeding when he crashed into a utility pole and rolled his SUV. 21-year-old Alfonso Nájera Garcia was killed. The teen driver was charged with vehicular homicide and DWI. Police are not releasing his name because he is a juvenile. It's an unofficial rule referred to as the baseball rule. If you get hit by a foul ball or home run shot, most courts of law say it's a risk you take. But this morning, the Albuquerque Isotopes have settled a lawsuit with the family of a boy who was hit by a ball. You see, back in July of 2003, investigators say a 4-year-old boy and his family were sitting in the picnic area of the park when the boy was hit in the head during batting practice. The family sued, and last week the Isotopes settled.
It's a possibility that a ball is going to leave the field of play, and in fact, that's something that people want. People want balls to leave the field. That's why they bring gloves. That's why they want to come out and watch batting practice.
The Isotopes general manager also tells us that there are no plans to implement any changes immediately at the park. He says that there are already about 300 signs throughout the parks warning fans about the potential of getting hit by a ball. A lot of fighter jets call New Mexico home. Now the state is hoping an idea to get those jets built right here takes flight. The Economic Development Department has released a report arguing why jet manufacturers and military aerospace production companies should build here. Weather, military bases, and incentives are all reasons, they say. Here's Economic Development Secretary John Barella.
You have to negotiate with certain private sector companies, but you don't give away the farm, and we certainly will do everything we can to protect taxpayer dollars as we look to recruit business here.
He believes if the jet manufacturers choose to come to New Mexico, we should expect to see a lot of high-paying jobs come with it as well.